just a short run through that you gave us about your book. So thank you very much. And just
It was my pleasure, darling.
as a young person, I just wanted to ask, what advice would you give young professionals who just started making money and earning a steady income?
I would ask them to please, even if they don't read, buy a book called, in addition to Romancing Your Money, buy a book called The Richest Men in Babylon by George S. Clayson. It was published probably, I think, in 1929. George S. Clayson. The key message in that book, and I can tell them in case they don't do that, you can Google it and check it, is a tenth of all you earn is yours to keep. If you keep that principle, put away a tenth, and if you need to find out what to do with that tenth, then read just chapter 10, the up close and personal in Romancing Your Money, and you'll know what to do with that 10%. But a tenth of all you earn, that's all he ever did. It doesn't take much. And it doesn't actually matter how much you earn. If you are a ShopRite, or it's simply knowing that the tenth belongs to you and no one else.
Okay. And then in your book, what is the primary principle that you want people to walk away with? That
I
one
want
lesson.
I want people to walk away with the fact that if you love your money, you tend to it like the corporations do, then you will always make sure you do the right thing with it, and you need to feel at ease with that. And you will attract money. You will, and that is why I call it a romance, because money is already there, waiting for those who tend and take care for it. It's like a seed. It's like a seed. If you can do it with that love and no guilt, none of that thing, it's corrosive.
Yeah.
It's corrosive. So really, that's the message I want people to walk away with. That some of the messages we've heard about money are not true. Money does grow on trees. Money can buy happiness,
Yeah.
and money has never been evil, and neither is the love of money.
And how hard is it reshaping that kind of idea that we've grown up with about money? Because I think a lot of young people, we learn, our financial habits from our parents or the people who we have seen, work with money, and that's how we then copy. Or
I
pick up
actually handled that one in the chapter of money does grow on trees, and I think that's chapter 5. So I literally address that. So if you want to choose just the one, go to money does grow on trees. That will address that precisely. And you will absolutely get rid of that. Because how I address it is that, yes, as a kid, it's okay to believe what your parents say. But just about at the same time you start to question Santa and the bunny, Easter bunny, that's about the same time you start to question their financial values if they don't match up with, and looking at where they are and just seeing, okay, if this is the principle you're living with in terms of money, and just grabbing that a tenth of all you earn is yours to keep will probably change your life anyway. But it's easy to shed those, because as you develop your own beliefs and ideas, you can no longer blame them.
You have
You know.
yourself to blame.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
you have the resources available.
And the tools, better tools.
And you mentioned earlier that you strategically or intentionally titled your book "Romancing Money" to target, more females and a younger generation. What motivated that? Is it something that you?
As a credit advisor, finance broker, I struggle to place finance for women. They just never have all the prerequisites. They're either not earning enough to service or haven't saved enough to deposit. And if they're single mothers, it's an uphill battle. And oftentimes, I have a management consultant I've been working with for about 4 or 5 years. And finally, she's now on 200,000 a year, and that's dollars, which would be like 2 million South African rands. And Then suddenly she's even less. It's taken about 4 or 5 years, and she's not quite there yet. And I'm not quite sure what's holding her now. But before, she was never just quite making the mark. And I don't know whether she's got too many debts or she just wants to enjoy her money a little bit. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But she's an example, and I chose her just because she's a management consultant, but she could never, and she was a divorcee. And so I see that quite a lot. And yet some kids, especially like IT guys, have signed up loans for 22-year-olds because they're earning good money. If they've decided to buy the house, they usually do, and they're going to be fine. But women, for some reason, they just generally struggle, and I guess we also have a lot of outlets for our money. We've got a lot more outlets. Handbags, shoes, bling, and parents. Sometimes we do more of the support in the family, whereas most guys just have their money. They have their money for themselves. Yes. So I target it because I see, and it concerns me, and also the longevity, and a lot of women are underfunded for their retirement, completely underfunded. Very rarely do you find a woman, if they fund it, it's usually because that was the husband's retirement fund. Yeah, because you see, we break. You see, there are reasons, not just a lack of responsibility. Whatever jobs we do, female-oriented jobs, gender-based jobs, are generally poorly paid if they're female-oriented. And secondly, we leave work to have children, and then you start again. And therefore, we've got a broken career path. And then come retirement time, we haven't got enough in our retirement funds. Whereas a guy could start at age 19, 20 and work until he's 65. But we have these breaks. And therefore, we just never have sufficient funds in our retirement funds. Yeah. So,
And lastly, just for the tech-savvy people, are we able to access any of your content online? Do you have online seminars that you touch?
I'm hoping now that gentleman Lita has improved my website, and we're doing certain things. But you see, unfortunately for me, I met him at a time when he's got his app going up, but we're working together. I have the content, and he's got the skills to put things where they should go. I've always had the content, I just didn't know how to put things where they should go.
And finally you have someone.
Yeah, finally I have someone, and so the content is there, and I'm hoping in good time I'll have webinars there, and I'll have them available. I really want it to be very giving. I want a lot of it to be available, and then we'll be doing also financial coaching for the people who want to take it up. I'll have a membership site with a 12-month affordable monthly subscription to get content. But especially in the early days, I don't know if I can guarantee, because I don't have the IT smarts. If I had the IT smarts, I'd probably make it very specific to the person. Like I'd have them enter their own financial details and their own goals and things, so that I could, if I had an app to do that, I'd like to make it very.
You have such an excellent guy working with you.
He'll be gone. That one, he'll have a multi thing. He'll have a huge industry. So I'm grabbing him once I can and hoping I'll find someone. But yeah, especially when I go to Sydney. But I do want to have that content, and I will be having the training and everything. I want to build a whole financial coaching thing around it, and I want it to be specific to the person if I could have the IT savvy to do it that way. But otherwise, I'll make it as tailor-made as I can.
That's excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
And as soon as it is up and running, I'll spread the word and tell everyone. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
And I'm very proud of you. We only met today, but I'm very proud and I'm very inspired.